What's up, everybody? Welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew Bosley, that's Scott Savage, and you can join us each and every day over at InsideTheGame.ca, YouTube channels at Inside the Game Official, podcast services thanks to our friends over at Fired Up Network, all 212 platforms around the world, and of course, don't forget those beautiful TV streaming platforms around the globe. I'm talking about Roku, Amazon Prime, Samsung Plus, ESTV, Jinx Esports TV. Dude, the list goes on and on, Scott. There's so many platforms to find us. Just, you can't miss us. Just find us somewhere inside the game. Hard to miss. You know what else is hard to miss today? Dude, it's Starfield Day, Scott. I can talk about it. We're able to get into discussion. Yo, you joined me for this review, even though you didn't play the game, but you had some questions. Pretty cool review. Our longest review in ITG history. I can't stress that enough. ITG history was made today. Check it out. Dude, what's on today's show?
We have Todd Howard sending a bit of a thank you memo, just in relation. Beyond Good and Evil's 20th anniversary has a release coming, and that's not on my list. Sony raises the PS Plus price, and that's angered a lot of the internet. And a Borderlands Collection has been announced. That's a good surprise.
Absolutely. A good surprise for some. Dude, I'm not much of a Borderlands fan, but yo, if you can give me more Tales, I'm in. So let's get going, man. Starfield, it's here. I'm so excited. Woo! Let's go. Scott, today is the day. It is Starfield review day. Dude, our review is up shortly, and it'll be going live. People can definitely check that out. But on top of that, make sure you don't miss it over on our YouTube channel, Inside the Game Official, as well as InsideTheGame.ca. But Starfield has been sitting around with rumors, this, that, and the other, but none other than himself, Mr. Todd Howard, had a few words to say. Jez Corden over at Windows Central has the exclusive. The early access launch of Starfield is imminent, and discussions online about the game are heating up, to say the least, Scott.
Oh, yeah.
Starfield is among Microsoft's most important Xbox exclusives in recent years. Built by the legendary software house behind the Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim, Fallout 3, and 4, the various other industry-defining titles, led by Bethesda's own Todd Howard. Starfield promises to be the studio's most expansive, most ambitious game to date, set in our very own Milky Way galaxy. Here's the story about how this gets set up. This is from Todd Howard himself. I knocked on Robert Altman's door. Got a few minutes? Sure, he says. It was early 2013. We were developing Fallout 4 and Skyrim was still enjoying enormous success. I was there to pitch him on our next game. It would not be a sequel to our current games. He looked concerned. But a grand space RPG and our first new IP in over 25 years looks curious. It would delve into creation and the search of our place in the universe. Slight twinkle in brackets he has. Dude, I like how this is set up, man. You would explore the galaxy in ways only video games can do. And it would be called Starfield. He smiled. Sounds fantastic. Robert would be the very first to believe in us, no matter the situation. Our path to creating Starfield would be a long and winding one where we made other games along the way. Fallout 4, Skyrim SE, Fallout Shelter, Skyrim VR. Dude, I forgot that was even a thing.
Yeah, me too, actually. I don't know if I've ever seen any gameplay of that.
Dude, I completely yapped on it. Fallout 76, Skyrim again. The core development from 2020 to 2023 saw enormous changes in our lives. A global pandemic, Robert's passing, and becoming part of Xbox. It's incredible to be at the moment where Starfield is finally launching this week. It only exists because everyone else believed as well. We've been supported for decades by everyone at ZeniMax, all doing their best work yet. Special thanks to our publishing teams who aim to create not just another release, but something that would capture the minds and inspire gamers everywhere. And to our partners at QA, who had the difficult task of testing a game where anything can and will happen. I can attest for that. And thanks to Jamie Letter and our admin HR teams who supported everyone during the most challenging years of any of us have faced. Of course, there is Phil Spencer. His support of every game and every player has been unwavering and fierce. Joining Xbox brought us closer to so many we had worked with over the 20 years. I cannot imagine a better place to create games where the diversity of studios, creators, and games are allowed to flourish. This support came from the entire Xbox leadership team in all areas of publishing and dev support. Special thanks to the magicians at ITG whose spells and incantations helped make this our best performing game. Most importantly, the team and I worked with Bethesda Game Studios. It's an incredible blessing to be supported by so many talented and inspirational people every day. Moments like this make you reflect back. Some of us have been together for decades, some joined more recently, but everyone has the same passion. I could not be prouder of their continued dedication to support something truly special. Lastly, a huge thanks to all of you within the Xbox and Bethesda family. Your enthusiasm and encouragement have meant the world to us. Creating this game has been one of the most challenging and thrilling experiences of our careers, a journey we'll never forget. And as we come to the end of this chapter, we pass it along to you. Each of you is receiving the game with early access and can begin playing this Friday, September 1st. But since one global time, you can actually play Thursday evening. Thanks, New Zealand. That is the thing.
A bit of an acknowledgement there.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a bit of a thank you, and here we go from Todd Howard. Scott, what are your thoughts?
I like that it's a little bit lighthearted. You can kind of read the joy in Todd Howard's words here, where it's not serious and buckling down on anybody. It's all very celebratory, and I think that's the right thing to do. This is Bethesda, after all. They're in the pantheon of game development, although still riddled with bugs. As far as I understand, they'll never drop that. But
it's funny. Well, that's what I said. Check out my review. There's a lot. That's our biggest review in ITG history. Like, that's how big this game is. We are far from finished. There's still a lot to unpack and discover. So that will be, I think, in discussions for quite some time with here and everybody around the world, honestly, at this point. But it was nice to see a little bit of a thank you coming from Todd, right? To the top, who appreciates everything that has brought Starfield to where it is. I think that's a special moment that you only get to live once when you release the game. The idea is to release the game in the best state possible. And, well, we'll talk about that in the review, Scott, because there's a lot to unpack. It's just, dude, the hype, anticipation, not only from the fans, but from the developers themselves. Phil Spencer's got to be pretty excited where they're at, right? Todd Howard's got to be over the moon. Nailed it. When it comes to releasing the launch of Starfield. The good part is that there's no online to worry about, right? The game is done. Just ship out the game and let it go. That's the exciting part. They don't have to worry about, okay, man, the infrastructure, the online component is not working. Dude, GTA, one of the biggest games of all time, launches online, is busted. So we don't have to worry about that here. Dude, I'm hoping that everybody over at Bethesda gets to sit back, put their feet up, take a break, and enjoy the pleasures of everybody's experiences that are about to just flood their inbox today, right? Like, that's the biggest thing. Enjoy the moment. And I think that's kind of what Todd is saying as a thank you. Now it's on to the gamers. Enjoy. And I'm telling you, dude, I got goosebumps right now just thinking about the game. Well, I do know. I do know a lot at this point with my 60-hour playtime, which is still just the beginning.
Well, this reads a lot nicer than an apology based on a launch.
Yes.
And I really hope that I hope this is an indication of everything kind of going to market properly.
Yep. Dude, and don't forget too, there's DLC on the way. Oh man.
I don't think it's gonna end ever.
Nope. Like, we're just gonna be constantly going and exploring and finding new things. And that was one of the things I touched on the most, is opportunity within Starfield. It feels endless. And that's exciting. And I think what Todd and the team over there has built is just so exciting to see what the future now lies and to see where it actually lands for Xbox. Xbox needs a win. Dude, this might just be it. Scott, topic number 2 is a hot one. Dude, oh man, get ready, because we're about to go on a journey. Beyond Good and Evil 2 20th Anniversary Edition leaked by ESRB for PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, and I'm sure the Xbox Series consoles. This is Michael Hardens over at PSU. The ESRB has posted a rating for the as yet unannounced Beyond Good and Evil 20th Anniversary Edition, which is listed for PS5, PS4, PC, Nintendo Switch, and the Xbox Series X and S. Ubisoft hasn't announced anything about re-releasing the cult classic 2003. I'm gonna say 2003 title. I'm so used to saying 2020 or 2022 or something like this. Yeah, 2003 title for the 20th anniversary yet, but the ESRB is usually spot on when it comes to outing games ahead of the official reveal. For now, here's the accompanying production description. This is an action-adventure game in which players assume the role of a reporter accompanied by a pig-like companion investigating a conspiracy on the planet of Hellas. Dude, I don't even want to read on.
I'm really trying to remember his name.
Oh, dude, it's on the tip of my tongue. It's been so
I know,
long, right?
It's there, but
yeah, okay. All right, what are your thoughts on, dude? First of all, why are we getting a 20th anniversary edition and not Beyond Good and Evil 2?
I'm wondering and hoping if this is just a test. Is there still a hunger for number 2? Should we really buckle down and put resources behind it? Because for the last, what felt like 20 years, they've kind of had one foot in, one foot out when it comes to development.
Yep. Paige.
I'm hoping this inspires
is that it?
Paige, okay.
Right. Yeah. Man, I'm baffled. But like, this was probably announced back in 2003. This is Beyond Good and Evil, fantastic game. I played it. I was there on day one, and I was all in. I had a great time. And then we saw what the potential of the sequel could be. And then it's been ghosted. This is just such a weird maneuver that we're still waiting on whatever stands for Beyond Good and Evil 2, and we're getting the 20th anniversary edition instead. Dude, kind of reminds me of Prince of Persia, the remake, and yet they shelved it for now to try and fix all that, right? I'm worried that the resources are getting put in spots just to make a little bit of money and not focused on what's new, what's coming around, and what we should be actually playing instead.
Part of the little bit of the rebuild operation that Ubisoft is doing, kind of putting little bits here and there. I can see that. But if it comes in with a new coat of paint, I didn't play it myself until maybe 2018.
Wow, okay.
2019, quite late, yeah. But that was on the Xbox ecosystem, and that's what allowed me to get in and play. So I'm hoping this one would also come to Game Pass would be ideal. But in any case, coming out again, I'll play it again.
Okay, it says it is a cult classic, right? Like it had a following, and then years later is when it really kind of exploded. It was weird to see. It was kind of like Among Us. You know, Among Us have been out for years, and then all of a sudden, everybody caught on to like, hey, where was this game been? That was Beyond Good and Evil for a lot of people. Like you saw, 2018, right? Do we get a port, a remake, a remaster? Where do you think this is gonna actually lie? Do they build this from the ground up and get us ready for the sequel? Is that what this is leading to? Oh,
I'm really hoping that's the case, because it was ported already before. It's already on the Xbox as a port. So I think this is indeed something new.
Yeah,
fresh.
I don't want a new coat of paint. I want this rebuilt, right? Kind of how we're getting Metal Gear Solid Delta, in a sense.
Oh.
Let's do that. I know.
I think what you mean to say is that you just want number 2.
No, it's definitely what I want. There's no secret there. I definitely want the sequel. Where is it, Ubisoft? Because we've been waiting for so long to hear anything on that at all. Like that was the case of announced too early, right? Like that's where that lies. So we'll see. I'm definitely curious to see what position this lines up. If we're getting on current gen consoles, last gen consoles, and the Switch, how polished, how fresh does this look? Is it just a reskin? Is it just coat of paint? Or if they really truly cared, Scott, they should go from the ground up, remake the entire game, bring it to today's standards, and then get us ready to launch into the sequel. Get everybody who hasn't played it familiar with Jade, the characters over here, with Beyond Good and Evil, and then get us going, hey, by the way, here comes the sequel. And I'm like, man, what a year that would line up. When do we get this year, Scott, or we get it next year?
I'm not sure. I can't recall the actual turnaround on an ESRB rating. I'm not sure if that would indicate exactly this year, but it has to be within 1 year.
Yeah, well, I think we're getting it sooner than later. I don't know if we'll see it this year or early next year. Right now, for Ubisoft, you take a look at their lineup, right? We get the Crew, Motorsport, Motorfest. Yeah, I say Motorsport because of Forza. So we get the Crew, it's coming out in September. We've got Assassin's Creed Mirage in October. And then we have Avatar in December. Like, for the next 3 games, we're getting a Ubisoft title. Not bad. And then on top of that, you kick into January, then we're supposed to get that new 2D side-scrolling Prince of Persia game. So for the next 4 months, dude, we're getting fresh Ubisoft titles. Can they drop this February, maybe?
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe 6 months to the second half of 1 year. I think that makes a lot of sense. That's possible. Unless we get a shadow drop and it's September.
Oh, please don't do that. Please don't do that. I don't know. Dude, a part of me is kind of excited now. I've come around on this full circle in this whole like little discussion. Yo, Beyond Good and Evil, bring it back. Or just give me a sequel. Scott, Sony fans are in an uproar, and I don't blame them one bit. Sony is raising the PlayStation Plus prices up to $40 per year. Yo, this gets expensive now. This is like, it was already at a decently high price. Now this is just ridiculous. This is the Verge, Alex Castro over here. Sony is raising the price of its PlayStation Plus subscription next month. The service's annual essential plan will go from $60 to $80, the extra plan from $100 to $135, and the premium plan from $120 to $160. The new pricing goes up effective starting September 6th. You know what, Sony? Like, this is not called for. I'm not impressed. As a fan of the platform, dude, I love PlayStation. At the end of the day, honestly, I just love gaming. But you need these services. Granted, I no longer need the top service, and because you're upping the price, you can stick your price, and I'm not playing it. Dude, I'm not doing this. I will go to the essential plan, and I will stay at the bottom. Just let me play online, and don't do anything else. This is not necessary, man. You can't tell me the cost of living and all that kind of stuff plays into effect with this. You're already making a boatload of money. You're about to launch Spider-Man 2, which is going to bring in a ton of money again. To up the price of this, yo, this isn't cool at all.
Interesting date to release this as well, on the 6th. A big release date. I wonder what caused them to pick that day in particular, but this is worth noting. This is American dollars too, so we're looking at a little bit different of a breakdown in Canada.
Yep.
But I think the translation ends up being the PlayStation Plus Essentials was, I think, about $108.
Right.
Which is quite an increase from what I understand. I'm not a customer myself. I still want a PlayStation, but don't have one yet. But this is not exactly welcoming.
No, this is not welcoming to anybody, honestly. So here's where we're at currently with the Canadian transfer edition, right? So when you go from 160 US dollars, it's $216 Canadian, Scott.
Oh.
I'm not going to pay $200 for an online service from PlayStation. I get what it gets me, but I find that absolutely absurd to pay for. This is ridiculous, man. This is uncalled for.
There's of course everybody's gonna look at the other side of the coin, the Xbox. If there was a Game Pass service, a similar service on PlayStation, do you think that would justify this increase, or is it still too much in your opinion?
Dude, this is just too much. You're over $200. $200. Like, come on. The console is enough already. We get into your system, then we got to pay to get online, right? And I'm okay. I get understand it, and I get the perks that we get with it. But then all of a sudden, now you want me to pay over $200 for your top premium tier? Not gonna happen. For some old games, dude, so I can stream. Like, there's
on that topic specifically, when it comes to Nintendo, that's where I'll get really annoyed and angry, because Nintendo online services do not offer enough, in my opinion. But given the trend that we're seeing here, I can expect them to turn up the price as well.
Yeah,
there is an element of truth behind that, because the inflation, essentially.
I'm glad I just renewed my service. Honestly, on PlayStation, it just kicked in, it auto renewed, and then next year I'm going with the essential plan. I am not paying $200. That is absolutely absurd. I think they're out to lunch. I think PlayStation needs to take a look at this. and realize the ramifications that it's going to take on their customers. And we shouldn't be paying this price. I think this is ridiculous. Dude, nuts. Absolutely nuts. Scott just announces the complete Borderlands Collection, the third game also coming to the Switch. Tom Ivan over at VGC. Borderlands Collection Pandora's Box is coming to the Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, PS4, PS5, and PC via Steam on September 1st, because there isn't enough to play on September. Man, oh man. Well, Borderlands 3 Ultimate Edition for Nintendo Switch will follow on October 6th. The former includes all 6 Borderlands games. Ready? Borderlands, Borderlands 2, Borderlands the pre-sequel, Tales from the Borderlands, which is absolutely fantastic. Everybody should play that regardless. Borderlands 3 and New Tales for the Borderlands, which I have not played, and I have no idea if that's good. I've heard mixed reactions on that one. Plus, all the DLC, Scott. The digital only...
That's a huge amount.
Dude, that's massive. But the digital only collection has a suggested retail price of $150.
Oh, wait, that does make sense to think about how many games that is.
Absolutely. But 2K says it will be available for a discounted price of only $60 for a limited time. So if you haven't played any of the Borderlands or you're missing some of them, this might be the time to jump in. Scott, have you played some Borderlands?
Yeah, I'm missing the Tales from games, and number 3 I didn't play much of. It was part of the cursed summer for me. I don't remember much, but I need to play it some more.
Borderlands has never really been my game, and then Tales from the Borderlands, because it was a Telltale game, dude, hooked me. I was all in on that one, but it's much different than what we're normally used to when it comes to the Borderlands. But there it is, everybody. You can check it out. Let us know. You gonna play it? Scott, the list keeps growing, man. There's so many games out today. What are we playing?
Yeah, it's surprising. We're not in September yet, but you wouldn't be able to tell based on the amount. We have the Big Con. That's on PlayStation 4, 5, Xbox One and X, and PC. Ooh, that is spelled OU, is on PC and Switch. How to Escape, PC, Xbox One, XS, PS4 and 5, and the Switch. Somerville makes its way to PlayStation now on the PS4 and 5. Trine 5 comes out PC, PS4, 5, Xbox One, X, and the Switch. Deceit 2 on PC. Tenebri Pictura on PC, PS4, 5, Xbox One, and X. The Shape of Things on PC and Switch. And finally, The Fisherman's Tale is out now on PlayStation VR 2.
Dude, what a list today. Trine 5, where did that... Dude, that just came out of nowhere. I've been looking for that game.
It's one of your old favorites.
Dude, I love Trine. The Trine series is fantastic. But to see that one just kind of drop today, I was like, oh no. Completely missed
Surprise.
it. Oh man, I'm jumping on it. I gotta go buy it now.
This is extraordinary.
And disconcerting.
We're too late. The villains are already here.
Knight, seize them!
Well, that'll be it for today. There's so much to talk about as always. Thank you for hanging out with us and joining us through ITG Daily, where we bring you the hottest in gaming news each and every day. Don't forget, go check out our review of Starfield. It is up right now over on our YouTube and our website. Don't miss that out. Man, there's so much to talk about, Scott. I can't wait for you to dive in. But until tomorrow, we'll be back then. I'm Drew. That's Scott.
And we'll see you inside the game.